Okay, so today is going to be a bit of a rant, and this is something I've wanted to rant about for a long time, and it's something that affects me daily. And this is pretty much three topics combined. It is YouTube, Japan, and teaching English, okay? And the reason these three things affect me all the time is, number one, I am on YouTube, of course. I own my own English teaching school, and obviously I live in Japan. So how do these three things affect me in a way in which I want to rant? Well, first of all, let me just say I love living in Japan. We all know this. I've made a bajillion videos about it. But what I don't love is the way Japan and Japanese people handle English, especially on YouTube and in teaching it here in Japan. The reason this country is below Cambodia as far as Asian countries listed in English literacy is because they don't do shit to improve themselves here. They don't do shit to improve themselves here. They have tests implemented in which they memorize thousands of English words that they never fucking speak. And then you've got these channels on YouTube who attempt to call themselves English teaching channels, and they're run by Japanese people who they themselves cannot speak English. Look, I suck at speaking Japanese. I've never made a Japanese teaching channel for over 12 years since I've lived here. Do I speak better Japanese than probably, 90% of the people who watch my channel? Sure, I do. But do I know every rule and how it works and what the most natural Japanese is to use in every single situation? No, I don't. So hence, I do not teach Japanese because I am not an expert, I am not a fluent speaker, and my Japanese is not perfect, nor is it, this is the most important, it's not modern Japanese. It's not up to date. I don't know the newest slang. I can't keep up with it. It could just be because I suck at Japanese, I don't study enough, whatever. I am, self-reflective enough to realize that me teaching you Japanese would make you a bad Japanese speaker. And why these channels that teach English don't understand that and don't get called out for this by the other Japanese people who watch it is because this country itself does not teach English the right way. For decades, for nearly 100 years, they have refused to use the European way of immersion. When you come into the fucking English classroom, you can only speak English. That's the only way anybody ever learns how to actually speak a fucking language, is to actually speak the language you want to speak. I have seen entire Japanese classes here in Japan taught totally in Japanese to express how the rules of English work. I have a student who comes to me every week and she brings in her papers that I have to help her correct, and she's great. She's awesome at learning. She's a hard studier and she's trying her best to learn. But her teacher, Mr. Otani Sensei, can't write a fucking sentence to save his life. And what is this man's job? He is a fucking English teacher. He writes sentences like, the mayor went to the government office to meet the people that wanted to vote for the election that was coming up the year that he wanted to be the elected person. Using the like 30 times through the sentence that just runs on and on and on. And it's such a run-on sentence you need a fucking oxygen tank just to read the whole thing because there's no proper punctuation. Do you know how infuriating this is? I have to teach English as an unofficial teacher in Japan. Yes, I'm not a licensed teacher here. To make up for mistakes of the licensed teachers who went to school for English, who are supposed to be licensed to teach English in Japan at the high school level. This is fucking pathetic. This is utterly fucking pathetic, and it is why Japan and the people who teach English on YouTube in Japan are ignorant. And they refuse to be self-reflective about it. They refuse to take a step back and say, man, maybe I shouldn't teach this since I can't speak it perfectly. One prime example is someone like Bai Ling Girl. Now, you might hear her speak and say, oh, her English is perfect. She's speaking so polite and honest and sincere. Well, Bai Ling Girl doesn't know how to express proper emotion in English. She'll tell people, oh, if you're really angry in English, people say things like, gosh, I'm so angry and I'm really upset right now. No, that's not the way we speak in English. We say fuck. Oh, fuck, fuck. God damn it, fuck. That's how people speak when they're pissed off for real in English, okay? People don't meet each other on the street and say, hello, nice to meet you. My name is so-and-so. It's great to meet you on this fine day. Nobody talks like a fucking polite data robot from Star Trek, okay? We say, hey, what's up? That's it. That's all we say. No one says, long time no see. Japanese love to use this one. Long time no see. When's the last time you said that? Yes, it translates perfectly from the statement hisashiburi, which pretty much means long time no see, but we don't speak like that in English. It's the same thing for dokoku ni ita koto ga aru. What country do you have the experience of having gone to? No one talks like that in English. Okay? You don't want to sound like a robot that hasn't learned to get a proper grammar chip installed into it, okay? And then on top of it, you've got these channels that don't even know that they're touting innocent racism here in Japan. Now, I'll be the first to stand up and say, you need to say whatever you want to say, free speech to the max. If you're just trying to express opinion and someone tries to call you out that is racist, I still believe your free speech should be the most important aspect. But these are people who are teaching stuff that they don't even know is extremely racist. For example, do black people find love Japan? There is a channel, and I'm not going to call him out right now and call out his channel name, where he has titles that come out as just ignorantly racist, asking questions like, can you ask a black person how to touch their hair like this? No, you don't say things like this to people. You don't teach phrases like this. And the guy who teaches these phrases not only does it with improper grammar, but he also does it in a way in which it expresses this ignorant, innocent racism that I call it. And I call it innocent racism because half the time Japanese people who learn from other people like this don't know what that person is saying is racist sounding and come across as ignorant fucking bastards themselves, because you don't ask people stuff like, is that your real eyes? Can I touch your hair? How does it feel? Do your people do this and this in this country? Do your people do that and that in your country? Is everybody in America fat? You can watch a movie. I think you can probably understand that not every single American is fat if you've watched even just one movie. Yes, there is a problem with being overweight or obese. And if you are interested in that, study it further before asking such an ignorant, innocent, racist question. Or I get people from Japan who see other people from America that are not white, Mexican, black, Spanish, any race that is not solidly white when you look at it and you think WASP, right away WASP. And they say, what country is that guy from? And you're like, he's also American. They're like, really? He's also American? Dude, do a little bit of study. See what the racial breakdown is in our country. We've checked out yours. It's nearly 100% Japanese. These are the small, innocent, racist things that Japanese people say. And half the time, it's not their fault. It's the fault of these channels who teach ignorance, who teach ignorant English, who teach ignorant social and cultural interactions. If you want to learn about another country, go to that country, Japan. If you want to learn about how to speak in another language in another country, then call up a person on Skype, make friends on a forum, and speak face to face. Don't worry about memorizing 1,000 fucking stupid words that nobody uses anymore. Okay? Stop using these songs, the fucking songs they use in high schools here to teach kids proper grammar. They teach them Mariah Carey, okay? They teach them a song from Wham, okay, whose lead singer is dead and had his own band for like ages after Wham broke up. They teach a song from the Snoopy Christmas episode, which is just like ancient fucking TV in America, and nobody would know who even sings that song anymore. They teach the Beatles, the last country on earth who still listens to the Beatles like they're a super popular band. And they use these songs to teach kids about English, and you should just see the looks on these kids' faces. They are dull, they are bored, they hate these songs because it has nothing to do with their generation. The only person it has to do with is a generation of the teacher who's an ancient fucking imbecile who can't update the modern vocabulary, lexicon, and textbooks that come along with these classes. Just to give you an example, the name of the textbook used to teach English in elementary schools in Japan is called Hello Friends. Who even talks like that? who says, "Hello, friends. Let's have a conversation." Oh, what? What? Okay, the other one's just called The Crown, and it's Oxford English. Meanwhile, Hello, friends is American English, okay? Either teach both or teach only one, but don't switch halfway through. These are the problems of the Japan English education system. Now, again, don't get me wrong. I love living here. Japanese people are, for the most part, very polite and very friendly and actually quite educated when it comes to math and science, which they are fucking leagues ahead of us in America. We are dumb shits compared to their level of accuracy and math and science. These kids, my kid is doing like fucking fractions in first grade, okay? He's way ahead of anywhere I was when I was his age. But his English still sucks, and he lives with me, a person who speaks English, and I teach him as best I can things like superlatives, okay? Good, better, best. They don't even teach basic things like that in schools here. They can barely get past their ABCs. Luckily, my kid is ages ahead because he lives with a natural English speaker. But Japan, you got to get your shit together. You got the 2020 Olympics coming. And guess what? The main language is going to be that all the nations coming to your country are going to speak English. Enough said. Fuck you very much.